What's going on, Aurora Alliance, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in this video we're going to be going over the classes available in Starfighter Assault in Battlefront 2. Before we get fully into the video, let me know down in the comment section what Starfighter Assault videos you would like to see. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all things Battlefront 2. So as we all know by now, there are 3 classes available in Starfighter Assault in Battlefront 2. The first class are the Fighters, the second, the Interceptors, and the third, the Bombers. The Fighter class in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a pretty all-round class. I mean, it's not really made for attacking ships or attacking objectives. It's a pretty balanced class, which I know a lot of people are gonna love. It has pretty average maneuverability. It is pretty nifty, don't get me wrong, but it's not as nifty as the Interceptor class. Fighters in Battlefront 2 are quite offensive ships. They do have 2, I think, offensive abilities and 1 defensive ability, and that applies to both sides, the Rebel Alliance and the Empire. The fighters we had available at Gamescom for the Empire and the Rebel Alliance were the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing. The TIE Fighter's abilities were Afterburner, Laser Barrage, and Proton Torpedo. Laser Barrage and Proton Torpedo were the offensive abilities, and Afterburner is the defensive for the TIE Fighter. The Afterburner ability for the TIE Fighter gives the ship an instant speed boost beyond its maximum speed for a long time. The speed boost can be cancelled by the player after a short time. Now in Battlefront 2 there is one thing to bear in mind when using the Afterburner ability: your damage does not change while you are travelling faster or slower. So if you want to, you could hit the Afterburner ability, fly really fast, and then shoot at other ships, so you are harder to hit because of how fast you are travelling if your aim is good. That is the defensive ability for the TIE Fighter because it helps you get away from enemies. The Laser Barrage ability charges up a rapid fire burst of shots which deal high damage. That ability is really good if you are directly behind a hero ship and you activate that ability and absolutely bombard the ship in front of you. It does a lot of damage. The Proton Torpedo ability fires a missile that tracks the locked target and deals high damage. The Proton Torpedo does not have to be locked onto a target to cause the most amount of damage. The damage doesn't change whether it's locked on or not. So for a TIE Fighter, you could lock onto an objective with a Proton Torpedo just to cause an extra bit of damage to help your team out, and you wouldn't have to lock fully onto it. With a ship you probably would because they are moving, but objectives in Battlefront 2 tend to be staying still. The fighter class for the Rebel Alliance is the T-65B X-Wing, which has abilities of Astromech Repair, which is the defensive ability, Weapon Overcharge, and Proton Torpedo. Astromech Repair instantly restores a small amount of health lost, which is helpful because if you are taking a lot of damage you can activate the Astromech Repair and then bring yourself back into the battle. Weapon Overcharge increases primary weapon damage for a short time. It's really good for taking out objectives or hero ships again. And the Proton Torpedo is exactly the same as the TIE Fighter. It fires a missile that tracks the locked target and deals high damage. The Interceptor class is the second class available for ships in Starfighter Assault. The Interceptor class is mainly for killing ships, and it is the fastest class for ships in the game. It is the most maneuverable as well, so it is really good for going in really quickly, killing enemy ships, dodging around obstacles to avoid fire, and then getting back out of there. The abilities are mainly used as well for targeting ships, and the abilities for the Interceptor class are exactly the same on the Empire side as they are on the Rebel side. The abilities for the Interceptor class on the Rebel side is Afterburner, Target Lock, and Concussion Missile. Afterburner gives the ship an instant speed boost beyond its maximum speed for a long time. The speed boost can be cancelled by the player after a short time, exactly the same as with the Fighter class. Target Lock, when activated, you cannot lose your current target. Time to achieve a missile lock is reduced. Additionally, the target is pulsed and receives extra damage from all sources. That can be really useful if you are trying to take down a ship that is trying to get away or is speeding up to avoid you. You can just lock on that little bit quicker and then you can take them out because they receive extra damage from all sources. And Concussion Missile fires a fast missile that tracks the locked target and does moderate damage. So as you can see there, all of the abilities for the A-Wing and the Interceptor class are pretty offensive. There doesn't seem to be one really sort of defensive for it, and it's quite a good class to use. For the Interceptor class on the Empire side, you get the TIE Interceptor, which is pretty obvious. The abilities are exactly the same as the A-Wing, Afterburner, Target Lock, and Concussion Missile. Bombers are the third and final class for ships in Starfighter Assault. The Bomber class is also the sort of objective class in Starfighter Assault. They deal a lot of damage, so if you are going to go after objectives, it is best to use the Bomber because it makes short work of really big, high health objectives. They have mainly offensive abilities, they are the slowest class of ship as well, and they are the sort of least maneuverable. It's quite hard to sort of get someone off your tail when you are a Bomber class of ship. They do have the most health though out of the three, so you can take a lot more damage before you blow up compared to the other classes. For the Bomber class on the Rebel Alliance side, you get the Y-Wing, which has the abilities of Astromech Repair, Ion Cannon Turret, and Dual Proton Torpedoes. The Astromech Repair instantly restores a small amount of lost health, which is a very defensive ability and keeps you alive for a little bit longer. The Ion Cannon Turret activates the Ion Turret, which fires at the locked target, causing low damage whilst reducing the target's speed for a short time. So if someone is behind you and you manage to get them locked, and you use the Ion Cannon Turret, you will be able to take them out, even though you can't see them because they are behind you. It's a really cool ability that I am glad they have added into the game. The Dual Proton Torpedoes fires 2 missiles simultaneously, which track the locked target and deal high damage. For the Bomber class on the Empire side, you get the TIE Bomber, which has the abilities of Electronic Countermeasures, Multi-Missile Lock, and Dual Proton Torpedoes. Electronic Countermeasures activates electronic countermeasures that break and prevent targeting and missile locks for a short period of time. This can be really helpful because you are really slow and it's hard to avoid people who are behind you, so if you can turn off sort of targeting on your ship, you can get away because most people will leave you alone because of how much health you have, and they can't necessarily judge their shots to get enough damage on you to kill you. The multi-missile lock instantly locks onto and fires a missile at up to 3 different targets in front of the player. This is quite a lethal ability because once you have the ships locked onto and you fire those missiles out, you can take out multiple ships with one ability. It's something that is really quite powerful. The Dual Proton Torpedoes fires 2 missiles simultaneously, which track the locked target and deal high damage, exactly the same as the Y-Wing, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But you can see there really is quite some variety to the ships in Star Wars Battlefront 2 compared to Star Wars Battlefront 1, and Starfighter Assault is much more enjoyable to play because of this. You aren't all playing in one style, and every single ship feels different. There is not one ship that feels the same as the others. And the classes add a great variety to Starfighter Assault. You've got the people who can go into bombers to take out objectives, go into the Interceptor class to mainly take out ships and protect those guys using the bombers to go for objectives, and then you've got the Fighter class, which can do a bit of everything. It can help defend the objective players in the bombers, or it can even shoot at objectives to help the objective players in the bombers take out objectives and push your team further forward within the game mode. Let me know down in the comment section below which ship class you want to play as most in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and also make sure to smash a like on this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to join the Aurora Alliance and be kept up to date with all things Star Wars Battlefront 2 and other Star Wars games. Other than that, may the Force be with you.